Unbelievable coincidences you won't believe happened. 1. Poker luck. Robert Fallon was shot in 1858 as retaliation from the people he was playing poker with. They said Fallon had cheated to win the $600 sum. They selected a new player to fill Fallon's place and staked him with a deceased man's $600 since Fallon's seat was unoccupied. And none of the other players were ready to take the unlucky $600. The new player had turned the $600 into $2,200 in wins by the time the police showed up to look into what happened. When the police realized that the new player was Fallon's son, who hadn't seen his father in 7 years, they requested the original $600 to be given to Fallon's next of kin. 2. Poe coincidence. The legendary horror author Edgar Allan Poe created a novel titled The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym in the 19th century. It told the story of 4 shipwreck survivors who spent many days in an open boat before deciding to assassinate and consume Richard Parker, the cabin boy. A few years later, in 1884, the Omninet perished, leaving just 4 survivors who spent many days in an open boat. Eventually, the cabin boy was slain and consumed by the 3 senior crew members. Richard Parker was the cabin boy's name. 3. Falling baby. Joseph Figlock, a man from Detroit in the 1930s, was to play a remarkable role in the life of a young mother who was reportedly quite reckless. Figlock was walking down the street when the mother's infant dropped on him from a tall window. Figlock and the infant escaped unharmed, and the baby's fall was broken. The same infant dropped out of the same window a year later, this time landing on Mr. Figlock as he went past. Once more, they both made it through the ordeal. 4. Mystery monk. Joseph Inner, an almost famous painter in 19th century Austria, made multiple attempts at taking his own life. When Inner attempted to take his life for the first time at the age of 18, an enigmatic Capuchin monk intervened. And once more, when he was 22, that same monk stopped him from hanging himself. He received capital punishment for his political activity 8 years later. However, the same monk's intervention saved his life once more. Joseph Inner, at 68 years old, shot himself with a pistol to end his life. Unsurprisingly, the same Capuchin monk, whose name Iger had never ever heard of, officiated his funeral. 5. Photographic coincidence. In 1914, a German mother took pictures of her newborn baby and then left the film at a Strasbourg store to be developed. Certain film plates were sold individually back then. When the First World War broke out, the woman lost the picture and was unable to go back to Strasbourg. After 2 years, she traveled more than 100 kilometers to Frankfurt, Germany, to purchase a film plate so she could snap a photo of her newborn. The film was discovered to be a double exposure when it was produced, with her daughter's image superimposed over her son's earlier image. Her initial film had never developed, had been mistakenly categorized as unused, and had ultimately been resold to her through some amazing twist of fate. 6. Hotel discovery. Irv Kupcinet, a television reporter, was in London in 1953 to cover Elizabeth II's coronation. He discovered some objects in one of the drawers in his room at the Savoy that, based on their identification, belonged to a man by the name of Harry Hannon. Coincidentally, Kupcinet was close friends with Harry Hannon, a basketball player for the illustrious Harlem Globetrotters. However, there is still more to the tale. Before Kupcinet could inform Hannon of his fortunate discovery, he received a letter from Hannon just 2 days later. In the letter, Hannon informed Coincident that he had discovered a tie in a drawer at the Hotel Maurice in Paris that had Kupcinet's name on it.